Hi everybody, in this tutorial we're going to learn how to add motions to the motion puppet. So I've done some experimenting and I found the best way, in my opinion, is to create your entire directory. See up here they have the base motion and it's actually pop down menu and there's nothing else here, it's just the base motions. And then they have the 4 categories inside here. The reason I've decided it's best just to create your entire own base up here is because these are actually little pictures that you have to make of everything. So if you just make a copy of the entire base motion directory, then you already have those. And they're pretty good categories, so you can kind of go with those. So you cannot do this in iClone, unfortunately. You have to go and do it on your computer outside of iClone. So we'll go in and we'll bring our folder up. I'm in the iClone template folder and I want to locate the preset directory. Open that. Inside you'll find the base motion. Now the base motion is where those various things live. Remember, these are little pictures. They're not the actual folders listed here. They just happen to have the same names as the folders listed here. So if you add more folders here, they won't show up here until you create your own little pictures. See, if we go in idle, for instance, let's do a list by type. There's these little pictures up here. And they are the, let's see if we can open one up real quick. Oops, it's associated with Krita, so it's going to take a little while to open up here. Okay, so you can see there's a little idle button. Basically, there's 3 little buttons, and one is how it looks, and the other is how it looks when your mouse rolls over it, and the third is how it looks when it's clicked. So the 3 of those are, how it looks when it's clicked is here. How these are the ones that look, how they look normally, and then when you roll over them, they have that. So there's those 3 little pictures. You have to have that in the folders. So let's go back to the directory we're in, and let's go back up to the preset layer. Now what I always do is I just copy the base motion. So I'm going to simply Control C and Control V. And it's going to copy the whole thing. The reason I copy the whole thing is because I go in here and I already have those little pictures here. I don't have to make any new ones. I just find it the absolutely easiest to do. Now, you probably want to have it have your own name. The trick that I discovered here is that you need to have the word base in the front. If you don't, it won't show up in the list up here. Don't ask me how I found that. It took forever to find. So I'm going to stick with base, and I'm going to call it base Rampa. And there we go. Okay, so now if I go back to iClone, of course it's hasn't seen that. iClone has to see that at startup, so it won't see it yet. So what we'll go do is go ahead and shut down iClone, and we'll go ahead and restart iClone. I'm going to send my same character to iClone that I had. Okay, now if I go into the motion puppet for the character, if I click in this little menu, then it shows the other one. They're both there now. So base motion and base Rampa. If I go into base Rampa, it's an exact duplicate of what I had. So I don't really want the exact same stuff, but what I want to do is add something new. So what I will go do is go back to the folder that was in, go into base Rampa. I think I will work in the move folder. There's quite a few moves here. If you look at this, you'll notice there is a, the motion itself, basic run iMotion. Then there's a basic run INI, and that these two are important. The basic run iPose, I don't remember seeing that in until iClone 6, and you don't actually need it for anything. So basically you need the motion and the INI with the same name. And so what I can do here is go ahead and, let's get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to keep just those and delete everything else, and we'll see what it does. Okay, now once again, I can't just go into here. Well, that's interesting. It did remove the little pictures right away. Oh, look, it did. It did update for the insides. Okay, so it's only this one that you have to initialize at startup. The others reflect the changes immediately. So I accidentally deleted all those little pictures that I should not have deleted. So let's go back here and undo that. Okay, so I wanted to keep those little pictures. So what I'm going to do is go to sort by again and get them up at the top so I know where they are. And then I think I'll just keep the Angry Walk in this pose. So I'm going to keep those. And I'm going to keep Angry Walk INI, and I'm going to keep Angry Walk. And we'll get rid of the rest. Okay, so now when I go in here, and got my little icons back, and I only have Angry Walk listed in there. So if I want to add more motions into my move here, I have to go back into the folder. This is where you probably want a second folder. Let's go say iClone template, open a new window, and we'll go into the motions folder for now. You would probably be using motions that you captured. In fact, I'm going to use one that I haven't used anywhere that is not from Realision. So I'm going to go into Realision, into my custom folder, into my iClone 6 custom, and then I'm going to go to the motion, and I have some Mixamo motions, and I think I want to use one of those. So I think I'll go with the any of these. Let's go with the action idle to fight idle, action idle to aiming gun. There's all kinds of these different ones. Button pushing, braced to free hang, that's a climbing one. Anyway, lots and lots of these that you can download from Mixamo, and I think they're still available if you haven't. I can put a link up somewhere where people can download them again. I think I did before, but I can do it again. So let's try laying one Mixamo and see what we get. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to paste it right in here. Okay, so it's there, but you'll notice that it's not going to show up here yet. Oh, it did show up here already. So I think you need the INI to use it, though. Let's find out for sure. Yeah, so it won't do anything without that INI. See, everything gets grayed out. The INI is basically just tells it where all the bones are. So it doesn't make a whole lot of difference what INI you use. It probably makes a little difference, but not enough to really matter. So I'm going to copy the Angry Walk INI and copy and paste, and then I'm going to get the name of my new motion that I added, copy that. I'm going to go into that INI copy, and I'm going to paste in the name of that new motion. So now I have Lang 1 Mixamo INI to match the motion. So now when I go over into iClone, notice I have all my options here, and I can go ahead and preview, and my character is lying down and looking either way. So it's a bit of a chore to do all the INI files. You might be able to find a, a renaming program that can, just generate, just copy an INI file and rename it to the to a directory full of motions, so you could, just automatically generate a whole list of them. So anyway, that's how you do it, and hope that's helpful.